Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all over the world. Dobson777a here. Hope everybody's doing well this Saturday. I'm on a little bit early. I decided to kind of get it in because I'm tired. I've been busy running around. I also got 6 or 7 stitches. I hurt myself the other day, so that was exciting. Oops, sorry about that. Anyways, I've got 2 rescue dogs, and the black lab I've had probably approaching 2 years, and then the white dog, which is we think a German pointer. That German pointer, for some reason, he gets in his mind when he hears something in the backwoods. I got woods in my backyard. There's no houses or anything, and he's got to go, and he'll bolt. He learned how to climb fences here recently, and it's so aggravating, or at least where the gate is. So he gets away. Sometimes he'll bolt out the front door, like I had my son and his my grandkids here, and they let the dogs out, and they'll disappear for a couple hours and come back, and they're about dead from the heat. Well, the other day he disappeared from the backyard going over the fence, and I had put something over there to try to block it a little bit. It wasn't adequate, and he did it a second time, and this time he came back, and he had gotten all the way down to the lake in the muck, which is like swamp mud stuff, and he came back and he smelled like crap. So I had to get him in the shower, and it took me probably 45 minutes to get all of that mud off of him and get the soap smell to where it got rid of everything else. And it's horrible what I had to do. But now I was out there where he was kind of getting through the fence, and I tried to bang a stake in between the gate and the fence post. And when I hit the stake, it kind of skipped over, and it caught me like right between the fingers and cut it like a knife. Now I looked, and I didn't see any ligaments or anything, but holy mackerel, that hurt like the dickens, and it didn't even bleed as much as I thought it would. I'll turn the sound down on this. Why does that happen? Every time I do a video, the thing goes crazy. So anyways, just for you silver folks now, I want you to know, I had forgotten I bought this stuff like a year ago. There's these patches you can buy. They're called silver amalgam or something. I forget what the name of it is, but I went through my pack, and it was a perfect size for putting over this area. And let me tell you something. There's something about that patch where it causes it to clot really fast. And so I did that for like 3 or 4 hours, and before I went to bed, I changed that out, and I just put tape like this over it and everything. But that stuff was amazing. And so I'm going to go buy some more because it actually lasts quite a long time. And we've all talked about the antiseptic properties of silver. So here's something that's actually you can buy. I probably got it at CVS, or I got it at the Kroger area, where they have all the cold medicines and everything. So that's something you might want to have. I'm prone to doing something occasionally. I've had quite a few stitches in my years, but I decided this morning to go down to the, what do they call it? The walkout clinic or walk-in clinic. And I just said, hey, I need a doc just to kind of look at this, because it actually looked pretty good. And he goes, no, look, when it's in the joint between your fingers like that, he said it'll eventually heal, but it'll take like 2 months because you're constantly flexing your hand and stuff. So if we put stitches, it'll heal in like 2 weeks. So I said, yeah, amalgamate. That's the right word. Thank you. I should have brought the thing in here so that you could see it. I just thought of it while I was telling the story. But anyways, I said, okay, let's do some stitches. And surprisingly, it wasn't really that painful. The lady that did it, she knew exactly where to put the painkiller, and I really didn't feel anything. Other times I've got stitches, it hurt like the dickens, but this really didn't hurt. Now I will tell you, a couple hours later, when that Novocaine or whatever they use wore off, if you put your hand down where the blood would rush to it, then I was like, okay, there's a little pain there, but now it's kind of settled in, so it's not bad at all. So that's my story. I got another scar for the ladies. You know, it'll be a nice little scar, and I'll be able to tell my story. So, anyways, silver is. Hold on, let me bring it up so I know what the number is, because I forget exactly what it finished at the end of the day. Silver's done fantastic. I don't know when it's going to top out. I just saw Bo Poloni was predicting a moonshot for silver. Let's see, it looks like it finished 28.32 for silver. And gold finished the week at, it dropped down a little bit, 20.34. It was all the way up to 20.60. And platinum finished the week at 9.60, which is actually a pretty good jump from where it was beginning of the month. So, yep, almost 30. It dropped down though. 28. I just read it off. I'm just using, there's a little app that has on here. It looks like it's based off of Kitco, so 28.32. But there's a bid and ask, so that's the bid price. The ask price is 28.42. Yeah, you know, I remember I blew a hamstring out. I went to the doctor and I said, man, I blew my hamstring out. And he goes, well, how'd you do it? And I said, well, I'd like to tell you I was rock climbing or parasailing or something, but I was bowling and I did not stretch appropriately. I was older and I just went up there and I've got a pretty wicked hook on my ball. I was actually almost like a semi-pro at one time. And I snapped my hamstring on like the second week of league bowling, which is like 36 weeks. And I was basically done for probably 2 months until that thing came back. But, you know, stuff happens. That actually wasn't it's usually power tools that I get involved in. I've been known to like take a tip of my finger off. I think that was a table saw. I did a lawnmower activity one time. Got a little too close to the blade. A lot of stuff happens when you know, you got to remember, I do a lot of construction too. So far, I haven't shot a nail into me or anything yet. Been a couple close calls. But anyways, I forgot to actually look at the metals. It looked like the metal or the miners were down a couple days. So we'll have to wait and see what, you know, we got to wait for like quarterly reports before they probably get another big jump. Look, I'm a long time hold, folks. I'm not a trader. So this is, I'm an investor. I'm very happy with what I've done so far. I have not listened to Bix Weir in a while. He's a little bit out on the far outside, a little bit far out for me. It's like he's making up stuff all the time. None of these guys, remember, they're not on the inside of the government. They don't know what's really going on. Remember, there's somebody behind the curtain that can make these things any price they want. But it looks like they've eliminated a lot of the manipulation from some of these companies. So we'll just have to see how it works out. There's definitely a change that's in the works here right now. I just think you got to keep in mind that the TINA acronym, there is no alternative. You don't want to be sitting in bonds. You don't really want to be sitting into the standard stock market and stuff. So you got to be very selective. So that's what I've kind of done. And then we'll see. Tangible assets. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, focus on tangible assets, things that are readily valuated, okay? Readily valuated. You don't want something that you have to go through 2 or 3 different ways to try to get the information. You want things that are readily valuated because you want it readily liquid. Because at some point we may go, okay, time to start pulling the ripcord here. Now, when is that? I think it's, I think we're 9 years away. I think we've gone through 1 year now. I think we have 9 more years if it's going to be like 1970 to 1980. But you know what? When it starts really moving out in that last couple years, you may want to go ahead and pull some out and go like pay off your mortgage or something. You may want to, I don't know what you want to do, but you may want to go buy a house. You may want to go buy, property. Who knows? So the idea is to have things as liquid as possible to be able to do that. I don't think we're going to get to the point where you can go buy a block in Manhattan with 1 ounce of gold or something. I think it's just going to be, who knows, you might be 24,000 an ounce or something. That'll go a long ways if you want to go pay off a mortgage. You take, like I have a 120K mortgage, you might just take 5 coins to do that or something, right? Boy, wouldn't that be sweet? And what if platinum doubles up and catches up with gold? That'd be sweet too. Would I own a 1,000-ounce silver bar? Okay, so let's talk about stuff like that. I have significant concerns with silver because I talked about it in February. I had a bunch of monster boxes and I just said, okay, how am I going to unload this stuff? And I started calling around, and you got to remember, you're trying to ship something that's like $50. The silver itself is, 50 pounds. The silver itself is $40, but by the time you add the plastic monster box case, and you got the inner tubes, and then you got the outer cardboard box or whatever it's being shipped in, you're ended up paying $50 to ship a monster box. Well, and insurance and everything else. So it becomes a problem eating away at your profits. And there's only certain ways you can do that. So I kind of looked at that as same problem with a 1,000-ounce silver bar. You're going to, right now, I think off the top of my head, what is it? $20,000 or something for 1,000-ounce bar? I don't know. So anyways, that would be a problem to, one, it's a lot of money. Hey, by the way, silver bars too don't have the same protections as eagles, so it may be a reportable thing. I got to go back and look at the table. There were thresholds for how much silver you could sell without having reporting at the dealer. But with eagles, there's no buy-sell reporting requirements, no matter how much you buy or sell. It's just honor system only. JM Bullion or something had a nice summary about those requirements. So you need to make sure when you're buying these kind of things that you know what you're getting into. Because you can't really just cut it in half and try to sell it if you only need 10,000, right? So you're going to need to figure it out. I've got a scar that's right here that kind of goes up and all the way around. And I had done that when I was killing a turkey the old way with a hatchet. I didn't get a good hold of the turkey. And then when I went to cut the head off, I only caught part of the head, and the stupid thing got up and started to run away. And I had the hatchet in my hand, and I went like that to put my hand down on it, and the hatchet just filleted my finger open. Well, I was at the early stages. I had 2 turkeys that I had to process. And so I ended up going inside real quick, washing it, wrapping it up with gauze. And I had to finish processing 2 turkeys before I could even go to the emergency room. And I had stupid 3 doctors come in having me explain my story because I thought maybe I'd been in a knife fight or something. I go, no, seriously. I mean, we're in the middle of a city, and I was freaking killing turkeys in my front yard. So that was kind of a hard story for them to believe. But yeah, I got kind of interviewed by a number of people. I go, look, I'm telling you, this is the truth. I should have taken pictures. I've been known to do stuff like that. I just didn't want a damn turkey running around the neighborhood. So what do you think? You guys feeling wealthy now just after the movement we've had on this stuff? It's quite interesting. Whew, I'm hot for some reason. I may have to turn the fan on. got 39 people and only 9 thumbs up. Seriously? Did you guys forget how to smash the thumbs up button? There you go. We got two brave souls click the buttons. I could tell you all kinds of scar stories, but I'll tell you one about a catfish. Good grief. I used to wear sandals when I went fishing, and one time I brought up in Florida, they have these things called channel cats, and you can't even put your hands around them like this. They're that big. And I mean, these things can do it like this, super big, heavy duty. Well, I brought that stupid thing in the boat, and he flipped off the hook just as I was bringing him over the edge of the boat, and landed right on my foot. Well, the doggone, I looked at the catfish, and one of the, they have these spines that come out the side. One of the spines was broken off on one side and not the other. And I looked at my foot, and I had a little blood spot. And I'm like, well, I don't feel anything in there, but that thing probably did not have one short one and one long one. So I told my son, I said, I think we're done fishing. We got to go home. And I still had to clean the boat and all this stuff. And I was walking on it, and I should not have been, because after the, doing all that stuff, it started getting unbelievably painful. So the next day, I went to it's kind of like a walk-in clinic. And I said, hey, I think I got a catfish spine stuck in my foot. And they looked at me and they go, no, there's nothing there. I go, no, seriously, x-ray this, because I know how painful this thing is. And I saw the catfish, what it was. And so they went and x-rayed it. And it was the funniest thing, because they took the x-ray and they went all throughout the office showing everybody. Now, the biggest problem was nobody wanted to operate to pull that thing out, because if catfish have like this slime, and it's very high risk for infection. And so I had to kind of go shop around, and I found a surgeon who was actually a fisherman, and he said, I will take care of you. But nobody wanted to touch it. I'm like, well, guys, I can't have this thing just stuck in my foot. So anyways, they actually had to do, they had to like cut 3 holes in, and they used like a camera and all that stuff, like they were doing orthoscopic surgery, like on your knee. So that was kind of weird that had to happen. But yeah, stuff happens. I've been known, to get hooks in me. I had to have cut out everything. That's fishing can be kind of dangerous. But anyways, tell me your silver stories. Tell me your gold stories. You got to be happy. We got 21 now. Thumbs up. Everybody likes my stories. I'll tell you one time, God, this is ridiculous. I used to use these lures. You ever seen the lures where they're like jointed? They have a joint in the middle of them, so it'd have a treble hook on the front and one on the back. Well, I was bringing a fish in, and I went to grab the fish, and then, it was hooked on the front. Well, the back hook, because the way it was shaking, it ended up hooking me like in the hand over here. And so now I'm hooked and the fish is hooked, and neither one of us are liking this. So then I pinned it to the ground, and somehow the other hook hooked me into this hand. So now I'm handcuffed. And I'm like, what the heck am I doing? I'm out here all by myself. So I kind of just squeezed the fish and tried to kill it. And then I was like, how far is it in? Can I get it out? And I was able to wiggle one of the hooks loose, but I was like, man, I was in a pickle. Stupid. I hated those jointed things. I finally got rid of them. They worked really well, but they were dangerous. Yeah, the silver miners have done fantastic. I need to, I'll try to get at least a view of, the miners, how they've done year to date. I didn't get the Friday report out though. Yeah, so let me suggest on you guys silver guys. you need to make sure you have a plan. That's part of investing. You know, whenever you buy something, you need to have an exit strategy. So you need to figure out, you know, how you're going to unload your silver. You know, most of you may not have monster boxes, so it's not a big deal, but you need to think about how you're going to do it, because they don't make it easy these days. SD Bullion is, where the heck is that? Nevada or something you got to ship to? I mean, it's not close. I don't know of any places that are really close. Yeah, I bet you Hecla was a steal 5 years ago. Yeah, let me tell you, the miners, we're super easy in them too. Super early, I should say. It's going to do well. Remember, the miners are going to do step functions, and it's going to be primarily like quarterly reports, because they go and reevaluate it's not the same as gold and silver, which is reevaluated, you know, daily. The miners are kind of done quarterly. So you wait until you see when gold has gone up like it has. I mean, it's gone up, what, 250, 300 bucks or something over the last several weeks. You watch what the profitability of these companies are going to be in the next quarterly report. It is going to really explode these things. And a lot of the computer buying is going to kick in. So make sure you get in there. Yeah, that's about right. Silver has doubled since May. So let me read some names off here, because I don't think I did that. FE Free 4A, DW, Jim Richter, Josh Matthews, Edgewater Heating's here. I missed you earlier. Mark Verekin, Parabuilding, Northwest Stacker. Did I say Josh Matthews already? I can't remember. Mr. Action One is here. OatMMC, FTR 223, Jay Ward. All right, I think I got everybody. Tell me if I missed someone. Did I say David Lee? I can't remember. Yeah, I think I did. I think I started with David. So let's talk about that. At some point, will you cash out miners to go to physical? I would argue that you're always going to hold some physical no matter what, but there's going to be a point where we're going to trade overvalued physicals and overvalued miners, probably pretty close to the same time, to go buy some undervalued. And it may be real estate, it may be blue chip dividend stocks, but I'm not necessarily going to trade miners for physical unless I feel like I don't have enough physical. Yep, the family is here. 40 100-ounce bars. Wow. Yeah, that's fantastic. Go look at what you can sell where it's not reportable, though, because there's a problem with bars that you don't have with Eagles. That's why I've kind of pushed everybody to Eagles. Yeah, that'd probably be smart to trade silver for gold if it goes actually, if it gets around 40 to 1 is when most people do it, but you may want to start, you know, selling at 40 to 1, maybe not all of it, but just do a little bit. That's one of the strategies. If you go look up gold silver ratio, you'll find several charts, but the 40 to 1 looks like the most common one. And I forget what the upper side was where you switch from gold to silver. Was it like 80 to 1 or something like that? Whew, I wish I put the fan on. Let me do that real quick because it's hot. You got to see my shorts. I'm comfortable here. Yeah, when when you sell precious metals, it doesn't matter if you're trading into the other metal, unless you're in an IRA, like a self-directed IRA, then it's not a taxable event. But it's an honor system if you're in the Eagles, because the dealer's not reporting it. But remember, you're still having a transaction that's going to have a bunch of dollars associated in the IRS. They can see everything, you know. So when things get up to $50 an ounce or something, and people start unloading, they may say, hey, let's go see, you know, how much money's flowing through these dealers. And then they'll start calling and say, hey, looks like you just sold something. Can you tell us a little bit? You know, you're supposed to report it, kind of like Bitcoin. Remember, the IRS went after all the Bitcoin folks. Yeah, all my pants and clothes were all the wrong size. I've got to, I actually got to go buy some more shorts, because I'm wearing like 38s and I think I'm below 36 now. Even my 36s are getting loose, but they don't look right. I mean, even this shirt, can you see how much room this is? This is ridiculous. So, but these are my favorite fishing shirts, but they don't look good when you're out in public, but it's great for fishing. There's plenty of room to move around, but I'm down to 197, and I guarantee you I was over 230 there for a while. And I'm trying to get down to 189, somewhere in that range, because that gets me out of the, that actually puts me in the healthy range for my height. If you look at the BMI charts and stuff. Yeah, if you can do private sales, that's a great way to go. It's just, at least with the dealer, you know, they kind of give you a phone quote and you know you're going to get your money. Yeah, no kidding. I could, you know, tuck in my shirt and just throw them in here. I don't need one of those fish baskets or anything. Oh, so we got some more names here. We got warning, Mr. XYZ. I think I missed that. And then warning signs, T. Nasus. T. Nasus says, great channel. Thanks for your work. I appreciate that. FTR 223. Want to trade silver for gold when time is right. That's exactly right. Let's see. So I want to let you know, I started the online dating stuff probably right at a little bit over a week ago. And it took a little while to kind of get the profile set up. And I went on several different sites. Well, it's all paying off really well now. I've already had a date on Thursday, 2 today, and I got 2 tomorrow. And then I have 2 set up early this next week. So it is, and these are, I haven't double dated any individual yet. So this is really working well. And I've had like 3 or 4 that just kind of fell out during substantial phone calls and texting and stuff. So there's a substantial supply of women. I'm trying to find women that like aren't all the way in Atlanta, that are, you know, an hour away. So I'm working diligently to try to find folks that are closer. But the problem is the Atlanta folks are the more educated. I agree about marrying the state. I argue that I'm making a covenant with God and my wife and my family when we do this, right? That's what you're doing. The state is, you just have to look at benefits and stuff, because it has to do with, but you can do a, you know, a will that kind of fixes a lot of things. But it used to be a problem with like pensions and all that kind of stuff if you weren't married. But I think they've kind of fixed all of that now. So you may not need the state blessing, but I think you need to look at that very carefully before you follow that, because there are things that could cause problems. I mean, I was surprised when I called my insurance company and said, hey, I was being separated. And they go, whoop, we got to send you to a special department. And they said, we have to take your wife off of your insurance right now if she's not living in the house. That vehicle has to be now paid for separately for her. And I'm like, what? I said, we're still married. And they said, nope. As soon as she left, the vehicle is really registered to that house. And if she's not at that house, that needs to be fixed like right now. So it turns out that she can't even access anything in my account anymore. She has her own account and I have mine. So I found that to be, that's something a lot of people may not realize, but I think that's a common thing with the insurance companies, and I never thought of it. Yeah, I agree with the physical gold and silver and everything. That's it's not just the pensions, that's inheritance now. You transfer it without the state, anybody even knowing it now. Oh man, standing on a catfish, yeah, that's bad. I actually, we were fishing at a bridge like at midnight. Skyway Bridge, anybody know the Skyway Bridge that's over in St. Petersburg? It was the old one that collapsed. We were clear across on the Sarasota side, and catfish came in, and I went to grab it, and it flipped, and the spine went in right into my, try to show it right here. And I mean, it went all the way down like that. And without thinking, I just grabbed the catfish and yanked it out. And, you know, the barbs, it kind of like pulled inside out. But what happened is my hand turned into a claw because it went into shock. And I told my friend, I said, well, I guess I'm done fishing because I couldn't even close my hand. And I went home and tried to wash it out and squirt stuff in there to get all that stuff out. And I never even went to the doctor. But for the longest time, I had like a hollow spot in there where I could see where the catfish spine had gone. Another one of those dang channel cats, man, I'll tell you, those things are nasty. Yeah, I don't know. It was, you know, it turned out I didn't have to call her anything. USA, my insurance company called her and said, hey, here's what the rules are. And she just had to take care of it. I thought it was funny. The bill came to my house, though, instead of, she didn't give them another address. So I don't know what she expects me to do. She still expects me to pay it. I'll figure it out. Oh man, so you're talking about noodling. How many people have seen that? They walk along these edges of rivers, and there's holes in the banks of the rivers, and people reach their hands in there, and the catfish will like swallow on their hand, thinking it's a fish or something. And so then they kind of grab and pull the whole catfish out, and it could be like something this long. They just use their hands to catch these. I mean, they're like 50, 100-pound catfish. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, that's an amazing thing when they do that. Yeah, we'll have to find out. I don't know about paper going away anytime soon. The we're already, though, 80% of all transactions. I've researched this multiple times, and I get about the same answer. 80% of all transactions are electronic, but you got to think about there's huge dollar amounts that are done international and everything else. Yeah, I didn't see that about China and Russia ditching the dollar. That would mean that they sold all their treasuries, which I don't think China's done that. I know Russia's been ditching their treasuries, but I know China has not. I got to go fishing. I love fishing. I used to have a dog that loved to go fishing more than I did. That dog would go nuts every time I would get the boat out. He knew he was going fishing. I loved that dog. He was amazing. Yeah, I don't know. Glenn Beck, remember, he was probably 10 years ago when he was real popular saying he wanted to be paid in gold and everything. So, I mean, he's early, but you can't really count on things really ending anytime soon. Yeah, no doubt. China's about ready to flood 300 million people if that dang dam goes. Yeah, that would be cool to get gold for his towers. It's a smart man. So I have been paying off credit cards. I've been doing all kinds of stuff and trying to keep very low dollar reserves and everything. I've pretty much got everything invested either in the physicals or the miners or real estate, that kind of stuff. Everything's tangible. I have to keep some reserves in case like a doggone AC goes out or something, but I may be able to lower my reserves if I get the credit cards paid off. So that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, that's what I did. I did that in 2018 and 2019. I started taking all my excess and converting it. It was perfectly good timing. I'll tell you what, any of you guys sitting in precious metals, especially if you started buying last year when I really got hot and heavy on this, telling you that the signs were showing, especially which that pitchfork chart, I said, this thing is only going one way. I'm kind of curious about what this thing's going to do since it's bounced off the top of the chart. I don't know if they're pricey. Remember, interest rates may be going negative, which means you have not seen anything yet. And remember, the dollar is going down, so I haven't seen anybody put any support for the dollar, and bonds are not paying anything. So like I said, and stocks are what are toppy. So precious metals, I don't think are anywhere near pricey yet, but you never know. Yeah, no, the opportunity was really about a year and a half ago to buy metals. So because you don't want to have the wasted opportunity. JT Coin Rings throwing a couple bucks my way. Thank you. I still got to get a hold of you. I've been busy, just really busy. Trying to chase some ladies. I'm gonna nail one down, see if I can find one. Really, really classy ladies too. Really beautiful, intelligent. What do you do if the line runs straight up on your pitchfork chart? Now, remember, it's all, I've already got it in logarithmic, and that's kind of what it's doing right now. So I believe this doesn't last forever. This is obviously part of a planned reset, so we don't know how much they're going to do it. This is indicating that the dollar is being adjusted. So is it going to be 10%? Seems like we've already shot up more than 10%. So is it going to be 20%? And then you might see the thing level off for a while, but I don't know. Again, somebody behind the curtain is making this decision. Remember, I still think this is a 10-year trend. So, it's doing something now. And, a lot of the upper numbers are in the 25K for gold, right? Who knows? Maybe silver is 1,000. Maybe it's 500. I don't know what the number is going to be, but it's whatever they decide it to be. Nobody knows. Don't listen to these clowns. They don't know because they're not in there making the decisions. So all you are is you're along for the ride. And at some point, we all have to make educated decisions. And I've been one that I will start. Well, first off, there has to be another opportunity that you feel like is beaten down like crazy, or like I said, you want to go ahead and get rid of your mortgage or something so you can go ahead and start peeling some off as it's getting up there. But we're still early. I wouldn't be considering doing anything just yet. Yeah, we're a long ways away from a top. Just think the last reset was 1970 to 1980. Gold and silver went up 17 to 18 times. Okay, we're just now getting close to doubles on silver, right? But gold isn't quite double yet. It's getting close. So 17 to 18 times, folks. That's the potential that we're going to have here. So let's say, you know, we started at 1200 for gold. We'll just use the 18 number. So that means gold's going to be 21,600. And let's pick a number for silver. What do you think? Like 14? 14 times 18. So that means silver is going to be $252. If it follows what happened 1970 to 1980, that's the price that you're going to have. Well, that wasn't the actual last time. We got off the international gold standard in 1970, what, one or two, I forget when it was. So that was the actual last reset, and that was international, and that's when gold was allowed to float. It did not float in the 1933 time period. So this has now been, you know, since the early 70s. Yeah, silver, it wouldn't surprise me if silver drops back some. It's overreacted. This is historically, whenever it jumps up and touches gold, it falls back. So we'll wait and see. But remember now what's happened, because we've hit all-time highs for gold. This is now going to get mainstream. In fact, I've heard it on, you know, a lot of these channels, they're talking about it. And so that's going to drive more traffic. And people might say, well, crap, you know, gold seems too high. They might jump into silver. And so it could go even further. Don't know. Well, you got to remember the US dollar is still the best fiat currency out of all of them. And you got to remember that is how we decide to buy things. So you can say that. We know that when gold goes up 18 times, we know that the dollar has lost probably more than 18 times. So it's going to be something that's the way we compare. So don't compare, because that's the way people understand. You're not going to be able to relate to people if you say, try to do it some other way. All it means is when gold's going up, the dollar's going down, or it takes more dollars to buy gold. Just like in Venezuela, you know, it took like $1 million or more to go buy gold because their currency collapsed. Yeah, I got freezers full of food. My garden's been going to hell. I've been trying to clean it out, getting ready for the fall. So I got a lot of work to do out there, but it's hot out there. So the problem with buying silver, and I meant to look at it before. I looked at it, might have been Thursday. Silver's back up to like 34% premium. So I'm not a big fan of trying to buy it right now. That's an insane premium. You got to just remember, gosh, that's just way too high to buy silver. Seemed like platinum was like 15% and gold was like 5.7%. So buy the stuff on sale. Just remember, if you spend 30% premium, you got to make more than 30% to break even. If you go to some of these coin shows, I haven't been to the Atlanta one in a while. I was able to pick up some silver eagles at spot up there because there were some like estate sales, and they were just selling at spot. I don't know. I've never been a big believer in the silver suppression because I understand the actual fundamentals on silver, that it's basically free to pull out of the ground because 80% of it is mined as a byproduct. So they get it as free. And then because they're mining for copper, lead, zinc, which are pretty inexpensive metals. And so the silver comes out as just a byproduct. And it's not rare like gold or silver. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the dealers are stocked. Maybe that's part of what I can add to my video tomorrow if I have some time. I need to go through and open up that one tool and go see, how much of this stuff is back ordered and what the premiums are all showing. I put that link in all the videos. It's finebullionprices.com or something. You can go look at that, and it's very easy to navigate. I finally feel the AC flowing. That's great. Yeah, Bix Weird talks about all this suppression and everything. I mean, there's no doubt there's been some manipulation, but nobody can quantify how much manipulation was driving that price. I don't know why the resolution isn't as good. Maybe you changed your settings, because I'm looking on my screen. It looks like very high quality. It could be live feed too. Maybe they degrade it. That's a possibility. Go back and watch it after I upload it. It only takes a few minutes after I close off the end stream. I just got to go add some information in the details, and then it becomes live, and you can do the replay. And that's probably what it is. It's just the live feed is not as high quality. Yeah. I mean, I can tell my face isn't as fat as it used to be. Let me tell you something about this dating stuff, though, because especially the women, they put these pictures that are like 5 years old, and then you go meet them as like, who is this person? They are cheaters, really bad. They've got like 20, 30 pounds on them and stuff. It's really interesting. So I'm kind of curious if how this is going to play out. One woman admitted to me before we were supposed to date tomorrow that she got an injured foot, and she's put on some pounds, and so she knows that I'm at what they call the fighting weight, right? So she realizes she's going to have to improve. Yeah, I'm not drinking enough water yet. I noticed that my legs are aching in the evening, so I got to get more water in me. But yeah, I had this. They all are very intelligent, very well educated, very down to earth. So far, the ones that I'm doing, so I'm very happy. Very happy. A couple tried to sneak in that were smokers, and I don't date smokers. I don't have anything against people that smoke, and I cannot metal bum. I can't tolerate the smoke. My sinuses can't tolerate it. Metal Bum, did you hit the thumbs up, man? We were already wondering where you were to tell everybody to do the thumbs up. Yeah, so far I've got, I don't know why it didn't like the way you spelled that. It put it in hide. I had to unhide it for you. Yeah, so far it's an interesting experience. So I'll tell you what it's like. How many people, when they go fishing, they just get in the boat and they go out in the middle of the lake and they just drop the line in the water? And, they might throw some stinky stuff in there to try to attract the fish. But in online dating, it's totally different. Later in life, I learned to fish with lures, and I called it like commando fishing, where I'd be fishing up against the docks because there'd always be fish around structure and stuff. And occasionally you'd get a snook with a mouth. We called it a bucket mouth. It would be, honest to God, this big, and it might be 50 pounds. And you'd be trying to wrestle it out from the dock. Well, that's kind of like what online dating is. You have to attack. You have to be very aggressive. You have to, I might do a video to tell you my experience of what I did to kind of stand out, because it really, that's what they tell me. My approach was very unique compared to other folks. So I may do a video to help other guys. But I've got some tricks of the trade that I developed that is really, and I mean, it's me, but I'm kind of a unique guy, as you guys know. I've actually done poetry, which you probably didn't know that I knew how to do poetry. So I've written some really nice poems, and, you know, just in my introduction to someone that gave me a like, I would write just a little poem, and it would be, it was very well received. And I mean, these are just off the cuff poems. I would just write, you know, like 4 or 5 lines and send it to them. And some of the poems were so good, I would use that. Man, there's some women I know that are watching this, I shouldn't say, but I'd reuse that same poem for multiple women. So, because I said, hey, that's a winner. I could tell by the response. So someday they're probably all going to talk to each other and go, that dang dog, I thought he was writing it for me. So I'm just going to tell you, I've kind of hit a winner here. It seems to be working really well. Now it's just a matter of trying to, it's kind of like, okay, so I've hooked some of them. They're at the dock. They're trying to get around the poles, and now I'm trying to get them to the boat, and that's the next part, right? I haven't actually got them to the boat yet. Well, I'm trying to look. I'm gonna tell you, this channel is 99% guys. So I would say that I'm trying to help you guys out. I don't know how many are single. I don't know how many, you know, could use this advice, but, you know, when I do a video, it can kind of get presented to a whole bunch of people. So I've got an idea of, first off, I'm practicing, and if it becomes very successful, I'm going to refine this, and I'll do a video, and it'll be available for millions of people, and we'll just see if that helps. Of course, I want to make sure that I got my girl first before I teach everybody else my secret. So it's amazing. Not everybody's talented with rhyming, but I can actually teach some secrets of how to do this. It doesn't have to be sophisticated, okay? It's just got to be cute. It's got to be, I put some comedy in there as well. And it's kind of interesting. So Kathy, don't hold it against me that I'm telling you what I was doing. Trying to think who else is watching me now. I have to delete some of their comments sometimes because they get all feisty in those things. You probably noticed one the other day. I have a cousin that's upset at me that I'm dating. She thinks that, I don't know, you're supposed to treat it like a death in the family or something. I'm like, look, she left me. I'm free. So that's kind of an interesting thing, right? I love my cousin, but sometimes they're crazy women too. All right, so let me see. Same woman, 48 years. Well, I thought I was going to be for 48 years. Don't give her any ideas. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a gambling thing. I have been talking to a couple of the girls about that they should be doing this, but there's only one that kind of was really paying attention. The other one's kind of like looking at you like you're a little crazy. But I think I'm probably going to redo a video to make a, we have a lot of new subscribers. So I think I want to redo a video about fiat, you know, versus precious metals, and kind of walk everybody through the whole thing again. And I think it will be helpful for everybody. Oh, you're going through a divorce early stages. Okay, well, JT, you know, once you get through separation and everything, and you want to do this online dating stuff, you call me, and I'm going to walk you through how to set up your profile, and you'll be killer, man. You'll be killer. Of course, you got to be good looking like me too. The women like the good looking guys. I'm like 5'11", and of course I'm now like in pretty good shape. I need to get some muscles in here though, so I got to do some sit-ups and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just worth it. So I'll tell you a joke. There's an old saying, there's two best days of when you own a boat is when you buy it and when you sell it. So it's probably the same thing with marriage, right? The day you get married and the day you get divorced. So that's kind of sick humor, but like I said, I expected I was going to be married forever. It didn't work that way, right? We all kind of expected that. So one of the things they tell you on this dating stuff is, fix your stuff up first. Get yourself cleaned up. They really, a lot of these women, man, they freaking have spent a lot of money to, get themselves prepared before they get out there. There's some, really high quality. Yeah, most of them won't even look the really good looking women, they just want to travel everywhere, Europe and everything else. And that's their expectation. Whether they're ever going to get that or not, probably not. But that's all they put on all their profiles. Well, I don't want anything like that. I want someone that's like a normal person. Well, it's not they care about the size, they care about the size of your wallet. Yeah, stack. There you go. I bet you 99% of them don't know anything about physical metals. They wouldn't have a clue if you laid one in front of them. I do plan on bringing, do a little display. There's one girl that's very, very interested, so I'm going to talk to her more specifically. So I'll bring some show and tell, try to help her get going. She's a real go-getter on real estate and everything, like I've been. Except she buys these courthouse type things. The junk houses have been sitting there for 10 years, and she does the full tear out. Grass is 10 feet high, all that kind of stuff. So she does more extreme. I tried to tell her my approach was much more low key, and I told her I probably wouldn't be buying any real estate right now at all. I would be hunkering down, and so she's listening. Yeah, I hope so. I hope to find someone that appreciates me. By the way, it's really interesting. I am attracting Asian and Latino women, like amazing. I don't know why. In fact, some of them think I'm Asian for some reason. I think it's the Cherokee. I have these high cheekbones, but it's like, no, I don't have any Asian in me. But the Latino and Asian women really like me. So there's one that's Filipino. There's another one that's South Korean. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know why. Is it just my eyes are squinty? What happens is I've got those droopy eyelid things that I'm probably eventually going to have to get fixed. They fall down with time. Maybe that's what the women think. There's some of these Asians don't have perfect English, so it's interesting. You have to have very good communication skills, because you almost have to be a thesaurus, because they will only know certain words, and it's one of those things that so if they say, I don't know that word, you have to come up with another word to help them. So I was on the phone for probably 2 hours with someone the other night. This was the South Korean girl, and we made it through. Very, very patient. She was appreciative that I was patient. Yeah, I think women do like the salt and pepper. I have my brother-in-law, his wife is younger and she's a hair stylist, whatever. And she keeps trying to get me to come into her place where she says, you need to get your hair darkened up. And I'm like, why? I don't want to be like these girls where you got to go in there like every couple of weeks because you end up, the gray ends up showing up anyways. That's a pain in the butt. Oh, you're an Asian chick here. You like what you see here? I wasn't bashing you. I said I said the Asian girls and the Latino girls like me. What did I say that was bad? I was given secrets of how you can get girls though by doing a little poetry and stuff. Women like romance. All right, guys, protect me here. Did I bash any girls? I don't think I did. I'm just giving away the guy secrets here. Try to help him out. Yeah, I'm about due for another haircut. I noticed it's getting a little shaggy over the ears. All right. Yeah, I'm not intentionally bashing anything. I will just argue that, remember, women do a lot of fake stuff. Remember, they do all the facelifts. They do all of the, I'm going to tell you something. All right. So I was asking my daughter-in-law, why the heck do women take shots like this? You know, they'll like look up like this. And they said, well, it hides their double chin, but also gives you a cleavage shot at the same time. So you get 2 for 1. Because I was like, why are they all doing that? That was like strange. Why isn't, you know, like normal people just do it right in front of them? So there's, you know, they're always doing stuff to try to, you know, make themselves look better than they are. And there's all kinds of, you know, soft focus. Those are the ones you got to avoid because, you know, they're trying to hide all the lines. And of course, then you got the spackling. I mean, they will put that on thick with a trowel. And if you've ever watched any of these beauty clips, you know, where it's like an average girl and then she does all the makeup and it completely changes the way she looks. I mean, that is amazing to me, the before and after. And I'm like, oh my God, can you imagine? Come home and she takes her makeup off and go, oh my God, what have I done? Totally different. Yeah. We have, most of my dates are about 2 hours for dinner. And some of them were actually on the phone for several hours too, before we even get to the date. All right, well, we just hit an hour. That went quick, folks. That went really quick. But anyways, I'm still learning about this whole process. This is a very slow, methodical process. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a one-night stand kind of guy. I'm trying to find quality women. And so we're just going to go through things one by one. And we'll, you know, anybody that has problems, we got to kind of set them aside and go down the list, keep going until we find what we're looking for. So it's an interesting process. By the way, you may have to kind of proposition 50 women to get one to say she'll go out with you. That's how bad the situation is. So you can't be bashful on this thing. So that's why I said it's like fishing with a lure. You're just attacking. And eventually, you know, sometimes they relent. And sometimes I go back through the whole list again because it might take 3 times before somebody even relents. So keep that in mind. I can't tell what that is. The thing's too small and I got a light in my eyes. All right, so everyone, you guys all take it easy. I hope everybody's treating you well. I hope you're doing well. Do the best you can. God bless.